team and then the other departments as well.
So what you see here is, and it is small, but this represents our new administrative structure, our new administrative team. We are excited to have approximately 23 new administrators joining the district, and so with the departure of some of our seasoned administrators, we have we're very successful during the hiring season, and we're able to really attract some really great talent. And we have, as Dr. Diskin mentioned earlier, really have gotten off to a great start with our new team and the energy that they're bringing. The conversations are taking on, many of the conversations that we've heard here at the podium and through the board committee meetings. And so it is great that we're able to begin to move forward with some new ideas and build upon the great successes that Millburn Township Public Schools has. So I'd like to just share with you some of the highlights from our Summer Leadership Academy. And before I get started into this was really designed with so many new administrators coming on board to try to bring alignment with processes, procedures. It was also a little bit about team building and building that team around Millburn Township Public Schools. But the Leadership Academy supports Millburn's strategic priorities by aligning professional learning with the district's 3 goals. Sessions are designed to foster inclusive leadership that engages the community voices in shaping the student's experience, strengthening the operational systems through consistent procedures and improved communication, and elevate the academic culture through high expectations, collaborative professional learning, and student-focused practices. By equipping school leaders with the tools, data, and shared protocols needed to support effective instruction, equitable interventions, and strong school climates, the Leadership Academy directly impacts student success, ensuring all learners are challenged, supported, and prepared to thrive academically, socially, and emotionally. And what you'll see here is just some highlights from our 6 sessions together that were full-day sessions. We were very graciously supported by the PTOC, where they welcomed everybody on July 1st, where we had the first opportunity to really assemble. So we had a great welcome breakfast, which helped really to kind of start and kick off our new era here in Millburn. So just some highlights from that day. It was great to see the new faces joining everybody here, and that is just a photo of the new administrative team as we begin to start this new venture. So the first actual Leadership Academy module was a team building activity with the Adventure Ed guy, who happens actually to be one of Millburn's own, Mr. Mark Friedrich, who runs our Adventure Education program down at the high school. And so in a year marked by leadership transitions, the Leadership Academy also plays a critical role in cultivating a cohesive, aligned administrative team, building trust, consistency, and a shared vision among new and veteran leaders to ensure strong and unified leadership across the district. These activities are actually activities that our students go through, and these are skills that we bring to our students. There is absolutely a place in developing a corporate team and an educational leadership team. And so without building trust among one another, we needed to kind of break that ice. So that was the purpose of this full day adventure. And this is one of the quotes by, at the end we did a hopes and dreams. And this was a hope of one of our new administrators. Building an even brighter future for Millburn with this group of new administrators. And so, and that was after a full day of working together. These are their words, not our words. On the next one was the Hipster training and the MTSS. The onboarding for Hipster and MTSS directly supports Millburn's supports Millburn's district's goals by promoting clear and consistent systems that serve both students and staff. Hipster training ensures that all administrators understand and implement effective anti-bullying. We've lost our connection here. Yeah. The Hipster training ensures that all administrators understand and implement effective anti-bullying procedures, reinforcing a safe, respectful school environment aligned with community expectations. Together, these systems not only strengthen the district's alignment, but also directly impact student success by creating a safer, more supportive learning environment where all students feel seen, supported, and empowered and achieved. So one of the big things with the Hipster training is this will help to align our HIB reporting and standardize it. We'll move from really Google Documents to an online platform that will provide automatic notifications and will keep the district compliant. It supports all of that. It also helps us to track and do the state reporting necessary for this. It is also an automatic link for parents, so they can fill out their parent or guardian or caregiver 338 form that was once before something that had to be printed and submitted. Now a parent can automatically submit it through the link. So and automatically goes in the system and will trigger those processes. We then moved on to safety, security, code of conduct, parent, faculty handbooks, and purchasing guidelines. This Leadership Academy session reinforces Millburn's commitment to its strategic alignment of operational excellence and a strong academic culture. By focusing on safety and security protocols, the code of conduct, and the parent, student handbook, and faculty handbooks, the session promoted clear and consistent expectations for all. Together, these foundational systems create safe, structured, and well-supported environments, allowing students to focus on learning, thrive in respectful settings, and experience success within a culture of high expectation. So we brought in our Director of Security, Mr. Mike Pilardi. He came in. He worked with all of our new administrators, onboarded them with our safety and security threat protocols, and so part of that process was really helping them understand the way we do it here in Millburn and giving them a good sense so that they can then go back and help to turnkey some of that information within their own buildings. And we lost our... I got it. We got it up. Then we were very lucky to host NJ Gain, which is actually a Millburn originated. Dr. Diskin is a founder of NJ Gain, and this is a group of schools in northern New Jersey and I guess even into central Jersey. And they have been working on grading and assessment. That's really the very beginning of this. It's taken on more of really like an educational conference of leaders, and it has branched out just from the grading and assessment piece. But we were able to host this. We had about 60 administrators from around the state here, and we were blessed to have Myron Dweck, who came in, who is an author, and we've done some work with him with our new teachers in the past. And he talked to a lot the administrators a lot about like the use of AI and how you use AI in the classroom, and gave really some great guidance for us as we are beginning to put some protocols and a framework into place for our students. So this was a highlight. We had all of our senior administrators here sitting in, listening, and collaborating. And so you can see how many people were actually in this room working together, which was great. And that, again, was an all-day conference. And that is my small section for now. I'm going to invite up the next presenter, who is student support. I guess that's me too, isn't it? It's not such a small one. I don't get off that easy. How about that? Okay, so we also had the opportunity, I want to highlight a little bit about some summer support programs, and the first one that we'll kick off with is the secondary summer skills program at Millburn Middle School. Millburn Middle School is a Title I school-wide program, and so the Title I funds were used this summer to support Millburn's priorities, such as developing, such as developing a summer skills program to support students that need additional supports as they get ready to come back for the 25-26 school year. That program started this morning and will run through August 28th. It will run 2 hours, and it's for students 6 through 8. There are about 150 students that will be servicing, so a little less, or a little more than 10% of the middle school population. We have 7 staff members working with them, and we'll be emphasizing, those key skills that they need to get ready for the upcoming year. It is primarily focused on the English language arts area and mathematics, and it's ideal for students refreshing those skills that they need to ease back into the school year. What we're really trying to do is sharpen those skills. It's the summer sharpening to get them ready for the upcoming school year. And Jenny's going to come up and talk about the ESL program.
Hi, good evening. So on June 26th, 27th, and 30th, we hosted our summer ESL program thanks to our awesome ESL teachers and all of our wonderful ML students. The program provided students with a rich blend of language learning and hands-on exploration, as you can see from these pictures, all centered around the theme of space and the solar system. Learners of various grade levels and language abilities engaged in interactive speaking activities designed to build confidence and communication skills. Students expanded their vocabulary through science-based lessons and applied their learning in creative writing tasks, such as crafting postcards from the solar system and compiling facts about different planets. Research projects and presentations further developed their academic language and public speaking abilities. A highlight of the program was the return of storyteller Rachel Harrington, who captivated students with interactive stories and games. All of the learners participated by predicting outcomes, acting out roles, and engaging in meaningful dialogue, providing authentic opportunities to practice English in a fun, memorable way. And on this next slide, this was also one of our highlights. If you see in the back right corner, this is our mobile space dome. Students were so excited to enter into this mobile space dome. So once they entered into it, they were immersed in a star-filled sky. Through dramatic flights across space, they learned to identify each planet in our solar system. Along the way, they were introduced to characters from Greek mythology and discovered how these legendary figures are represented among the stars. And one of the culminating projects was each student created their own presentation regarding the planets, and they were able to do it in various ways, whether it was through paint, through canvas, or through clay. And students really had a great time collaborating with one another. Linked on the bottom also is the entire ESL summer presentation, so if you'd like to at your own time, you can go look at that. It'd be great, and I really want to thank all of our ESL teachers for doing a great job again.
So the Special Services Department ran our IEP, a little shorter, yes, thank you. Ran our IEP-driven ESY program. In order to participate in our extended school year program, you have to meet certain criteria where you are a learner who has regression during the summer and do not recoup your skills within a reasonable amount of time. So it's not open to all IEP students, but a certain cohort of IEP students. We run programming for our students from pre-K through age 21, and their programs are slightly different and are run for different lengths of time. Like our pre-K attend for 2 hours. Most of our K-12 students attend for 3 hours. And our students with autism who are in our ABA programs attend a 5-hour day. And then we have our older students who are involved in job training as part of their IEP programs, also continue those job training work opportunities during the summer. We had 93 students participate and over 65 staff members instructing and working within the program. This summer program is less structured and a little bit more fun and theme-oriented. A couple of the weeks that we ran our program this summer were very hot, and you'll see in the next slide, we had some fun outdoor water play at times for breaks for the students. Some of our older students went on field trips to the community garden and learned about growing plants and agriculture. We did a lot of hands-on activities. So that's a little slide, little pictures. We also ran a summer child study team where we had about 15 child study team members from various disciplines, whether they're learning consultants, school psychologists, or social workers, who were providing testing and case management for more than 40 students this summer, both new students who moved in. We had quite a few international move-ins where students had IEPs from other countries. They're called different, so we have to find their eligibility under IDEA and plan for their programming for the upcoming school year, as well as quite a few students coming from other states. IEPs look a little different in other states, so we have to meet and program for those students that are new to our community. We also, within the Ed Center here, our 12-month administrators and support tasks continue to process these IEPs, send them out, do any updates that needed to happen, any evaluations that came in, scheduling, sending out parent communications. And in addition to that, we ordered a lot of specialized supplies for both our child study team members who constantly need new protocols and test kits, keeping up with the latest tests that are released, as well as some instructional materials for our specialized programs. Okay, Kath.
Good evening. I'm very excited to present. I first want to just start by saying I've gotten to meet most of the school counselors already, and I can definitely tell you that we are very much aligned to our mission and vision for the Millburn students here. And when I say that, I also mean that they are very much looking forward to the upcoming trends that we're going to be having this year. So I'll be updating you on some expectations as well as some new improvements to the school counseling program for Millburn. So, okay, and to introduce myself, I'm Catherine Alvarez. I'm the new Director of School Counseling and Student Support. So first, I'd like to start by just having a general idea of what we're going to be doing with the department as a whole. We're going to be working with data. As a 21st century school counselor based on the ASCA model, it is extremely important to gather data, and we'll be doing that as in a process view type of way. We'll be operating out of a dashboard, a data dashboard, where students will have the opportunity to make a self-referral, and also teachers and administrators will also have that same access to the referral process. This will happen at the elementary, middle, and high school levels. I'm going to make a standardized operation of procedure here, and they're going to all have a QR code with an appointment link that is going to be linked to one sheet that we will be housing in one data hub, and that will be kept between the school counselors. It will be maintained confidential. The importance of that data hub is to really look at the living data, because right now school counselors are looking at attendance data, GPA, they're looking at AP scores, but they're not really looking at the trends. And that's what we're really going to start looking at, is identifying trends, whether it's in 3 months, in a quarter, and we're going to be able to build on program management through that process. So I'm very excited about that. So at the high school, and I'm going to be explaining high school, middle school, and elementary school so we can break it down. So at the high school right now, we are working on scheduling. We're going through our course request process, and our school counselors will be available on the 25th, 26th, and 27th for in-person meetings and also through appointments. We're going to be also working through, in September, a 9th and 10th grade interest form. I've included it here. I will not go through it, but it's very standard, and that is part of our process for just identifying trends that we're going to be seeing in the future, for seeing what dual enrollment programs will be popular, what students might be interested in math, English, social studies, and science, and what programs would benefit them for the junior year and senior year. In addition to that, that's also going to help us build those grade level benchmarks for college and career readiness. Each counselor is going to have a set of their caseload, and they're going to develop benchmarks for each of their kids, and they're going to follow them from 9th grade through 12th grade. In addition to that, I will be having our counseling programming through 9th through 12th grade so that they're going to have a college and career readiness program established through the Naviance system. Right now, we're utilizing Naviance really at the 11th and 12th grade grade levels, but I really want to utilize it as it is a robust system. I would like to use it from freshman all the way through senior year. And through that, we can align our initiatives for course planning, college and career readiness, and equitable student supports in the future. Because through Naviance, it has, they've added a planner, which is a 2.0 planner, which allows us to actually bring our course plan program into it. So I'm going to be working with our Naviance coordinator to see if we can do that. And that would give more access to parents so that they can also see those pathways that are available for their students, and also help us develop better opportunities for that, that access that we want to give them when they're juniors and seniors as they plan for college. And that also will help us establish our dual enrollment, our plans for dual enrollment. So understanding what courses we're going to be offering from our system, and also what courses we'll offer through dual enrollment. So now I have some good news. Miss Garland has hosted a Common App launch day. It went very successfully. And during our Common App launch day, she did provide a kind of like a poll for the students to identify where they were in the college application process. I will share that data with you in the next slide, but something that I want to bring forward is through the college planning, through the college counseling program, I'd like to really enhance our communication with parents. I'd like to create a standard process where we have a flyer, a communication that goes out to parents, not just the day of or a week before, but having it a reminder. And I'd also like to really improve our ability to brand, how we present ourselves to others as well. So we're going to be elevating that school profile and also rebranding. And that is through establishing consistent processes. And here is the data from the Common App launch day. So 43.5% of our students reported that they started the Common App, but they needed help completing it. 33% reported needing most help with revising their personal statement, and 30% had not started the Common App at all. So when we looked at this data from our poll that we took the day of the Common App, I met with Megan, Miss Garland, and we decided to begin a college essay week, a personal and supplemental writing support week for seniors, which is happening this week. And Miss Garland is completely booked all week, and she has appointments for next week as well. The positive part of that Common App launch day was identifying the need for this essay week, and it also is providing the support that we're going to follow through with collaborating with our English department to provide writing workshops, as well as offering that review day. I believe in the past, Millburn has had like a college essay review day. I'd like to keep tradition with Millburn and continue that, so if we can move forward with that. And moving into the middle school. The middle school counseling department, something that I've heard from just in communication with our counselors is that it would be really beneficial to have a standard process for sharing out the transitions from either 5th grade through 6th grade or 8th grade to 9th grade. So something I'd like to establish with the counselors is creating that standard transition profile. And I've actually attached it here. It's in the slideshow if you ever want to take a look. This will help each of the counselors have equitable access to the same form. They can also track notes. They can keep each other well informed of what's happening with the student. And this is also a great way to plan in the future for courses for our students to make sure that they're in the correct courses. In addition to this, something that is a goal of mine and also something that is a goal of the middle school is to pilot Naviance. So I'm hoping that we can work on that for the winter. And then, like I said before, the goal of this SDP, which is a student data profile, is really to vertically align these schools, right? The elementary to the meeting school, Washington, the middle school, and then Washington to the middle school, and then the middle school to the high school. And finally, our elementary schools. So our elementary schools have a shared sister school model, and while they have caseloads that they're sharing between two schools, they will be definitely having the same expectations across all 6 schools. And in the process of having those shared expectations, we've kind of decided to talk to the principals and the counselors, and we're having these unified meetings to make sure that we're all having the same language. And in that same language, we're making sure that counselors are providing these tier 1 instruction and scheduling those lessons in the classroom. So I will be creating a schedule for each of the counselors to make sure that they're going into the classrooms and providing those tiered 1 lessons from SEL, which is themed by month based on, sometimes the month has a special theme, whether it's anti-bullying month, mental health awareness month, Women's History Month, but we want to make sure we're focusing on something related to mental health and school counseling. So the counselors have already established a agenda of all the months for the school, and we will be working collaboratively on that. And I've actually also created agendas for each of the counselors in elementary, middle, and high school to meet with me biweekly for a lunch and learn, and we will be sharing these ideas with each other, and we will also be working all together as a department on the data in school counseling, the book that I presented in the beginning, which is going to be our PLC book study, and I'm very excited about that. So I thank you so much, and I'm going to be I'm going to be passing it on to Kyle. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Catherine. Good evening, everyone. My name is Kyle Arlington. I'm looking forward to leading the Human Resources Department and Human Resources Operations for the district in this next chapter of Millburn leadership. Over the summer, our department has been engaged in significant transitions, reflecting both retirements and resignations across the district. In total, 85 staff members have separated from the district. This includes 10 retirees, 23 teacher resignations, and a mix of custodians, aides, administrative staff, secretaries, and paraprofessionals. Within this total are also 10 staff members participating in the terminal leave plan. At present, we have 1 teaching position, a long-term sub remaining to fill, and 19 staff members on approved leaves of absence this year. So alongside this work of making sure the best candidates are in front of our students in a few days, the department continues to manage a wide range of responsibilities, from certification tracking and mentoring to handling pensions, contracts, verifications, and compliance reporting with state and federal agencies. We've also been providing daily customer service to staff, former employees, and outside organizations, ensuring that we remain responsive and supportive to our school community. I dare not try to fix that myself.
That's a me thing. I'm sorry. I don't know why it keeps disconnecting.
Thanks, Mike. That helped build suspense for my second slide. Yeah. Looking ahead, future focus. Oh, wah, wah, wah. I'm going to read while you're fixing that, okay?
Yeah.
Okay, so looking ahead for future focuses, I'd like to focus on strengthening the foundations and long-term direction of the HR department. So this includes examining and aligning the goals, values, and missions of the department with a larger vision for the district, while clarifying and formalizing roles and responsibilities within the office. So we'll be striving to build consistent processes in our onboarding and offboarding protocols, and exploring the possibilities of what exit interviews look like here in Millburn, along with stay interviews as opportunities to listen, learn, and improve. Another priority is reviewing and refining our hiring protocols to ensure transparency and effectiveness, as well as developing clear HR practices around tenure milestones. And most importantly, I'll end with the excitement around building a collaboration with other departments, including C&I and special services, to better align HR practices with instructional and student needs. So I think that together these steps help position HR not only as a support system, but as a partner, a strategic partner in advancing mission, district, and board goals as well. Thank you. Yeah. Thanks, Mike.
Yeah, glad to help. Thank you. Technology. So one of the largest tasks and the most forward-facing tasks is new Chromebooks for our students, grades 5 and grades 9, new schools, new experiences, new Chromebooks. And the Chromebooks that were turned in by our students who graduated from grade 12 and who left grade 8 are reallocated to grades K to 4, newest devices to the eldest students. We've also acquired new computers for a high school video studio. We've installed new smart boards and repositioned others. My favorite one is the middle school sign is back in operation. For any of you driving down Old Short Hills Road, every day I would see, oh my God, I've got to get that part in. When it finally came in, we got it up right away. So I'm very happy about that. Virtual servers and Windows upgrades. In case you don't know, if you have a Windows 10 machine at home, please know that it goes out of service in October. So you need to make sure you're on Windows 11 or higher. And we do the same thing with our virtual servers. Virtual server 7 is out in October. We're doing 8 now. We also have a new phone system and virtual phones, new presentation spaces at Glenwood, South Mountain, and the high school guidance department. Thank you, Ms. Alvarez. Thank you. Well done. Nicely done. And then we've also added additional security cameras. I will not tell you where they are, but we just have more of them. That's technology.
Hi, good evening. I'm Una Marie Abrams. I'm the Director of English Language Arts, and I am going to speak briefly about professional learning. So over the summer, we were very, very fortunate to run a professional learning program that was focused exclusively on differentiation. And there are 4 pillars of differentiation: environment, content, process, and product. And every one of our staff developers was a teacher here in Millburn, a staff member here. And each one of those staff developers received training themselves in the spring so that they could make sure that their instructional design of their professional learning sessions was aligned and that we were rowing in the same direction, speaking the same language. So we have here the numbers that tell this story. We did run 56 professional learning sessions that were tied to those pillars of differentiation, 180 participants. So, and this is just a very brief rundown of the session titles. You can see there's quite a range. And some of the sessions definitely related more so to one of those pillars of differentiation than perhaps another, and then others of them, all 4 of those pillars of differentiation applied. So those are just, as I said, a basic rundown of the titles of the sessions that were offered to all the teachers. And of course, some photographs of very happy teachers in the summer coming to learn together. We know the research shows us that teacher efficacy grows with the professional learning that they receive. And one of the key takeaways that teachers expressed in their survey at the end was the value of reflection time, the value of gathering together to learn, and also being able to put themselves in their students' shoes and to be learners themselves. So on that note, I'm going to pass the baton here to Christy Young, who will talk about our new staff orientation.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Christy Young, the Director of STEM, and the new staff orientation week kicked off today at the Ed Center. It is probably one of my favorite events to be a part of in Millburn. We brought together a total of 48 new staff members with 14 administrators, 28 teachers, 3 nurses, 2 counselors, 2 occupational therapists, and 1 psychologist joining the district. This is an opportunity for everyone within the district from the administrative lens to be able to work with our new staff to onboard them to the district and get them ready to be able to be in front of our students. We explore all of new staff orientation from 2 different lenses, that of a teacher and that of a learner. We integrate different instructional practices that teachers can bring into their classroom starting day 1. This morning kicked off with all of the administrators coming in in to greet all of the new staff, which you can see in the upper right-hand corner, and then the large photo represents all of the new staff. So throughout the week, all of our new staff meet with our administrators for onboarding into HIB, our evaluation system, our pillars of instruction and differentiation, and so working with them so that they can be ready come September 2nd.
There we go. So for our summer priorities, it'll pop up eventually. For our summer priorities, 2025-26 school year, Millburn prioritized developing an AI framework for classroom use, curriculum writing, and the revision, curriculum writing and revisions. Ongoing evaluation of our grading and assessment policies and adjustments to midterms final schedule and the assessment designs themselves. And implementing a win period in all of the elementary schools directly supports the district's goals. But looking ahead to 26-27, the anticipated implementation of dual enrollment opportunities for students, the adjustment of the accelerated level criteria at the middle school, and the expansion of underclassmen AP offerings will further advance equitable access and rigorous academic opportunities, reinforcing our commitment to preparing our students for the future, for future success and alignment with our strategic goals. So this summer, our C&I team was really busy working. We prioritized several areas based on the work that we were doing through the program committee and around the district, and began to really work these bigger issues out into smaller committees. And we are ready to present to program committee in the upcoming days to be able to get some consensus and then put those in play for the 26-27 school year. So very excited about the work we're doing. Bringing up Ms. Graff again.
So we house all of our curriculum on a platform called Atlas. It's also available on our district website. All teachers that wrote curriculum this summer were trained on the Atlas platform. We had over 45 staff members write curriculum. We had over 50 curriculum maps updated. We are in a 5-year cycle for updating of our curriculum maps. What that means is we look at when the state updates the standards, we look at when we have mandates coming in, and we look at the needs, and that's how we determine which curriculums get updated. This summer, we had curriculums updated in all different content areas. In addition, if you go onto the district website, click on the C&I tab, and then you click on K-12 curriculum guides, you will be able to access all of our curriculum maps, and there's numerous ways to search for it.
So this summer, Leanne Martin, Director of Math. This summer we had curriculum writing at the elementary level, the middle school level, and the high school level. At the elementary, we had math in grades 1 through 5, ELA, K-5, and Spanish grade 3 and 4. At the middle school, it was ELA 6 through 8. The math work was specific to the new pathways. So just a reminder, accelerated math 6. That curriculum is revised to include both 6th and 7th grade math standards. So the way the teachers are planning to do it is lead with grade 7 and then infuse grade 6 as they go, making sure that both grade levels are covered. Then the grade 7 Excel was renamed to Accelerated Pre-Algebra, and it currently includes grade 7 standards, but the new version will include both grade 7 and grade 8 math standards, which will make them even more ready for Algebra 1 in grade 8. Also at the middle school level, we had some curriculum work in art, 6 through 8, leadership grades, and Shark Tank, grade 6.
I don't think I said my name. Jenny Graff, Director of Humanities. Sorry. Okay, so we had a lot of curriculum writing done within the area of humanities. So high school, we had AP World, which is a brand new course we're really excited to offer for freshmen. We had Worlds Accelerated, US 1 Accelerated, US 2 Accelerated, and Human Rights. Within those areas, it was a matter of updating the standards, specifically looking at the interdisciplinary connections, and really focusing on those differentiation strategies that were applied. Aside from AP World, which is brand new, so we are really excited about it, and I can't wait for everyone to go onto Atlas and look at the great work that was done. Within the area of world language, as you can see, we had numerous world language curriculum maps updated. We had Chinese, we had Spanish, we had Italian, we had Latin, we had French. The teachers were really hard at work this summer, and with that, again, it was a lot of updating with the essential questions, making sure they were aligned to the standards. That was the interdisciplinary standards, the content area standards, the computer science and design thinking standards, which are also mandated and required for all content areas within curriculum and instruction.
Within the world of science, we brought together teachers to look at our AP Biology elective as well as AP Chemistry, where we were adopting a new textbook, integrated chemistry and earth science. We took the feedback that we had received from students and from the community and looked to be able to support students a little bit more at the beginning of the school year by changing the order in which some of the topics were being introduced to students. For AP Physics 1, that course was rewritten as AP Physics 1 used to be accelerated physics, and now we're giving students the opportunity to take the AP Physics class without taking the AP Physics at the high school level. We also rewrote the 3D materials and design. In technology, we provided curriculum writing for the TV Studio 1 and 2, digital literacy, game design, and Beyond the Spotlight, which are some of our middle school courses that are integrated into this slide, as well as AP English Language. And then within special education, curriculum was written for math fundamentals across 6th, 7th, and 8th grade, as well as life skills English and social studies fundamentals and science fundamentals in biology.
Good evening. My name is Peter Stars. I'm the interim school business administrator. As you're aware, all school districts are busy with facility projects in the summer, as this is the only real chance to get into the schools and work. However, I must say Millburn has been especially busy. This list is not all-inclusive, but gives you a good idea of the facility work and improvements across the district. Hartshorn had a new playground purchased and installed from the generous donation of the PTO. South Mountain is having upgrades to HVAC units. Washington had concrete work done along with HVAC and boiler work that is ongoing. Nigel Field received new turf. Middle school weight room is being transformed into a dance classroom. And certain classrooms across the district are receiving new flooring, and existing flooring is being scrubbed and finished. The high school is in the midst of a complete renovation of its auditorium. The main gym has been resurfaced, science labs have been renovated, and a portion of the roof is being replaced. Work still continues with the remaining summer left, but the district facilities will be ready and sparkling to receive the students and staff in September. A big thanks to Mr. Knipe, our manager of buildings and grounds, along with his staff of maintenance, grounds, and custodial staff who have done a fantastic job and take great pride in their work.
He's way taller than me. Hi, I'm Terry Hecht. I am the new Public Information and Community Outreach Officer. This is my very first board presentation, so I'm sorry if I'm a little shaky. Just to give you a couple updates on what's going on in my little world, we've had some updated website design. I hope this doesn't blow out the computer. And aside from that little annoying blurb that comes up every time you're on it, all school sites now have a new consistent template. We have, it's a modern look, easier navigation, and a better mobile experience. Provides a unified feel across the district. It's reorganized, being streamlined and restructured, prioritizing most frequently accessed information. So for example, the Board of Ed page, everything you want to know about the Board of Ed is now on one page. We've also got a back to school page that's new this year where you can find quick and easy dates. It's not scrolling down for me, I'm sorry. but it's always on the top of the screen there, so you can click on it whenever you need to. We also have, back to the Board of Ed page, we have a new streamlined process for our policies and regulations. It's linked directly into our district website provided by Strauss Esme, and it's updated in real time for accuracy and transparency. And the last one I have is, we have implemented new platform for the superintendent updates. We're using SMORE this year, and for our July superintendent's update, we had 2,592 views compared to 702 views last year, which is a 270% increase in engagement. So it's really pretty, and I hope you like it. Thank you.
Slide is a thank you slide. I just want to take a moment. While I know that this was a lengthy presentation, it just really represents the dedication, the commitment of our staff, our teachers, and really the entire administrative team from the Ed Center down to custodial staff, buildings and grounds, secretaries, everyone getting our school district ready for the opening for our students. So lots of things to look forward to, and I want to thank the presenters tonight for taking the time to come. Thank you.
Is there any questions from the board members for any of the team members? There was a lot of information there, so I'm sure you could follow up afterward. You know them very well. And we have one more presentation, right?
We do have one more presentation. This is for the WIDA scores. This is a test that our multilingual learners do every year. It is required by the state that we present the scores to you.
Hi, thank you again, Jenny Graff, Director of Humanities. As Dr. Diskin noted, this is a requirement from the NJDOE. Districts are required to report the scores within 60 days of them being released at a Board of Education meeting, and we are also required to provide parents with access to the scores within 30 days, all which has been done. So ESL is English as a Second Language. That is a program. The students are multilingual learners. They used to be called English language learners as of 2 years ago, but that has changed, and our teachers are ESL teachers. WIDA is world-class instructional design and assessment. So WIDA is housed within the Wisconsin Center for Education Research at the University of Wisconsin-Madison. WIDA, the consortium, is an educational consortium of state departments of education. The consortium originally began with Wisconsin, Delaware, and Arkansas, which were the sources of the acronym WIDA, although Arkansas dropped out. WIDA Access 2.0 is an annual K-12 assessment for multilingual learners. It tests 4 language domains: listening, speaking, reading, and writing. The results help determine a student's readiness to exit the ESL program and show their English proficiency level. So this slide provides a high-level overview of our multilingual learner enrollment for the spring of 2024 and 2025. The next few slides will break down these numbers further. This slide shows the breakdown of multilingual learner enrollment numbers by school for the year 2025. And let's take a look at the enrollment numbers for each school and see where our MLs are distributed. As you can see, we have a lot of multilingual learners at our Wyoming school, followed by the middle school and then the high school. And I have to say, we have amazing ESL teachers throughout our entire district. They ran the entire ESL program this summer, and our multilingual learners are smart, they're dynamic, and just amazing. This is an interesting slide. I love looking at this. So this slide represents the diversity of our student population by showing the various home languages spoken by our identified multilingual learner students in 2025. As you can see, most of our identified multilingual learners are Chinese speakers, followed by Russian and then Spanish. This slide provides a more detailed look at our enrollment numbers for the 2023-24 and 24-25 school years. You can see the enrollment on October 15th was 93 students in 2023-24 and 82 students in 24-25. The enrollment on June 30th was 94 students in 23-24 and 89 students in 24-25. We can also see how many students exited the program in July. 34 students in 23-24 and 23 students in the 24-25 school year. This slide introduces the WIDA Access results for spring 2025. These results give us a clear picture of our students' progress in English language proficiency. This right here is an individual student score report. This is what all parents receive that have identified multilingual learners. They receive this, and all of our multilingual, our ESL teachers are available to interpret these scores for parents. We also hold quarterly meetings for our parents and of our multilingual learners that provide great resources. We were supposed to hold one at the public library, but then they were going on a renovation, so we did a virtual one, but our turnout is always very high for these nights, so we really like hosting them for the district. So for the WIDA access proficiency levels, I'm going to talk a little bit about 4.5, which is the exit criteria. So a 4.5 reflects consistent growth in all 4 domains of listening, speaking, reading, and writing. To reach this level, students typically have to practice speaking and listening regularly in both academic and social settings, develop subject area vocabulary, and especially in math, science, and social studies, read a range of texts, stories, informational passages, charts, graphs, and show comprehension. So I really want to take a moment to thank all of our ESL teachers. We have Caitlin Sullivan, Victoria Guerrero, Lindsay Ralph, Dana Tinahiro, Catherine Salnick, and also Marcy Seidman, who is now going to be a permanent elementary teacher at one of our buildings. So I have linked also a lot of additional resources. If anybody would like them, you can click on them, and I'm also always available for any questions regarding our awesome ESL program. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Graff. Any comments on the WIDA presentation, or we can go back to the last presentation? I know you've thought of something to comment on. See, Ms. Shivani.
Well, we have some, oops. This usually happens at my band practice. I don't think it would happen here. So I just want to thank all the directors for taking the time and for explaining everything to us in so much detail. And it's also very impressive, the level of effort that you've put into this. And I know there's, mixed feelings probably about all of the changes, et cetera, but I feel really confident that we're off to a really strong start, the work that you've done over the summer, in all the areas, right, from counseling to curriculum to building and grounds, everything. I think it's very, very confidence inspiring. So thank you so much.
Mr. Farshud?
Yeah, I don't know about my kid, but I am excited for the first day of school. You guys have done amazing work. As parents, we think that on September 2nd, you flip on the light and you're ready to go. There's a lot of work behind the scenes. Thank you for bringing your expertise and enthusiasm to the district, and welcome to all the new joiners. Thank you.
Yeah. Mr. Finkelstein?
Yeah, I also just want to thank all the C&I directors, specifically from program side, for doing all the work this summer and getting so much done on the curriculum front. There's a lot of change, as other board members have said, and a lot of work is going on behind the scenes. And as Mr. Connolly mentioned, more to come on that front too. And thank you to Ms. Alvarez, who's new to the team and looks like is bringing a ton of energy and new ideas to guidance, and it's super refreshing, and it's just wonderful to see, and really excited about all the things it sounds like you're working on and doing. Yeah, can't wait to see all of it in action, so thank you. I did have I don't know, there's a lot for Mr. Arlington on the hiring side. There've been a lot of departures and turnover and change, and although we saw the teachers kind of change was in line with past years, but I don't know, maybe this is for another time, but just to hear how hiring is going, generally speaking, and how staffing is shaping up as we go into the new year. If there's any thoughts now or just at a future meeting, yeah.
Yeah, the response, just to get into the microphone, was Mr. Arlington would pull together some data, provide it to Dr. Diskin, who could provide it to the board, and if there's something substantial there, we can certainly push it back out to the public. But yeah, I certainly wanted to echo that last comment. You did a great job hiring this year. I think there was one open teacher spot and a couple open of others, so that's fantastic. We're able to attract the top level talent. Yeah, I would just like to reiterate what all the board members have said of all the great work that was gone on this summer, and I'd like to pull out one point, how through several of your presentations, you referred back to kind of the Millburn traditions or the way we've done things and are building upon that. So I think that's great. It's not coming in here and saying, oh, this is wrong, I want to do it this way. It's like, you guys were doing this great, I want to take it to the next level by doing X, Y, and Z. So I think that's fantastic, and it's kind of what we've been talking about all along, that we're not trying to change the Millburn way, we just want to continue to increase it and keep pushing forward. So it seems like that's what we're doing. All right. Ms. Shivani?
One follow. This is more of a question. So I know there was a lot of great information, especially in the Ms. Alvarez in your presentation. I'm just curious to know how and when that gets communicated to the community. I know this presentation was great. Probably not everyone is tuning in right now. I think maybe we need a few more reminders to people that, you know, there's more vertical integration. I think those are great initiatives. There's more data-driven approach. I think that'll be great to communicate.
Yeah,
to the
so
people.
our infamous coffee chats are going to be scheduled and happening again, which will be able to cover more of this in greater depth and detail. We'll invite specifically perhaps just guidance to one, and then those folks can dig a little bit deeper into some of the things that are happening. They are being scheduled. We're actually going to hold them all at the Bauer Center, so that it's convenient for everyone and it's off-site, but yet a really nice fireplace location for those chats. So those will continue, and we'll be able to have rounds of conversations regarding that.
Ms. Bethina?
Start with just echoing everybody's sentiments. The excitement is palpable. I think we're all the work that goes behind the scenes. I don't think people get to see it. Not curriculum, obviously, is a lot of work, but also, you know, finance, facilities. You can see just the sheer amount of work that happens behind the scenes. I'm very excited about the changes coming on the guidance side. I just wanted to see if there's something that could be fit in. One of the things that I hear a lot about from new parents who join the district is that, you know, once you've been through the system, you know a lot that happens, all the little nuances, all the tracking that starts in 6th grade, all those things. When you're a new parent, you're clueless. So I was wondering, as part of guidance, if there's some, you know, space to add new parent guidance or new to the district kids guidance. I feel like they get lost in the whole kind of shuffle, and they go through joining middle school and then high school with like very little information. Back to school nights are super rushed. You know, I remember going to the orientation and just being bombarded with the information. So just maybe a new parent guide type of situation, you know, maybe a website or something for new parents.
I think that's a great suggestion, and we can talk more about that with Catherine and see what we can pull together. You're welcome.
And I do feel like we've gotten there. That I've noticed the changes to the website already. It's being certainly not 100% there, but I was able to find more information, and it does look a lot better. So I appreciate all those efforts. Last chance? Actually, it's not the last chance. You can always talk later in other sections. Last chance for now. All right, moving on, President's Report. Spent some time last time welcoming the new arrivals and issuing a challenge to them. So certainly wanted to welcome back the existing staff, the returning staff who have already started, and those that will start in the upcoming weeks. You are hearing the positive energy that's going on. I hear a lot more about it in the background. It was great to see a lot of the remaining sports programs start today, to see people playing on our new field out there for football. Just utterly fantastic how many good things are going on. My original comment that I was going to say, we held some of the more substantial presentations for the September meetings on grading and everything, but these turned out to be very substantial presentations, so I certainly take that comment back. We do have back-to-back more board meetings in September. I think it's the 8th and 15th, so we'll look to push out what's going to be on those agendas as soon as possible, because we certainly want to get a lot of parents into those and get them up to speed for the school year. Certainly one of our board goals is about communication, and I think we're proving that more tonight. We're communicating more. One of the challenges we're pushing to the administration is to communicate more, talk about the things that they've done in the past, talk about those successes, not to kind of toot their own horn, but to provide education, because sometimes people are dialing in for the first time. So it's kind of good to hear a little bit of the run-up. We kind of are so involved in the issues, and we kind of speak in code to each other. So we're saying broaden your horizons, speak to all parents as if they're hearing it for the first time. So it may be a little repetitive in some ways for people who attend all the time, and there are a key few of you, thank you. But we think that's a better thing to do, to provide that context of kind of where we came from, and it's certainly not to paper over any issues. We ask to be very balanced to say, we've done this well, we see these challenges, this is what we're working towards. I think sometimes when we put up presentations of, here's all the great things we accomplished, we kind of get accused of, celebrating too much, and that's certainly not the point. We should celebrate our wins, and we certainly acknowledge all the challenges we do have going forward. Thank you. So speaking of goals, the board goals, I think we're finalized around the goals. The board goals are very high level. I think when we put out the information, there's a couple bullet points under each. We'll have some working plans around those, but that's generally as far as they go. The district goals get much more involved, and I'll encourage Dr. Diskin to speak a little bit about it. What we present to the public is very high level. I know there's a ton of work that goes beyond that, from district level to the directors, down to each building, and hopefully right into the classroom. So I don't know if you're able to pull out some examples and talk a little more about that, but I know I've received some questions about, what do these goals all mean? Are they detailed enough? All very good questions, and I think it's on us to continue to communicate and explain to the public. One last point for me. We were in executive session talking about the finalization of the Communication Workers of America, the CWA agreement. It covers our custodian and maintenance workers. This one got off to a late start. I think it was more on the CWA side, getting their representation in place. There wasn't any animosity. I actually thought it was quite a friendly back and forth to get to an agreement. Usually it's done directly with the administration. The board isn't very involved, so Ms. Schneider carried it almost to completion before she left. A couple others contributed, and I think Mr. Arlington drove it over the finish line. So thank you to all those that were involved. I think one of the things we found in the agreement that our team was actually undercompensated relative to the surrounding neighborhoods. So we pushed up their compensation. I think they got a 4% increase this year. It's a 4-year deal. I think it's just under 4% if you average all 4 years out. So we're certainly happy to reward that team who takes such great care of our facilities so that we are able to educate. I've certainly talked enough, so I will
talk some more.
push it over to you, Dr. Diskin.
All right, now I'll talk some more. Thank you, President Hyrex. It is certainly my great pleasure to welcome both our new colleagues and our returning staff to a new school year. Today we launched, as you saw, the new staff orientation, and I'm thrilled to share that we're welcoming an exceptional group of highly qualified, passionate educators into the Millburn family. Their energy and dedication will add to the strength of our district, and we are excited to see the impact they will have on our students. As we begin the year, I invite all of us to ground our work in 2 guiding ideas. The first comes from Henry Ford, who reminds us that coming together is a beginning, staying together is progress, and working together is success. The second is a shared commitment to rise with purpose and to lead with heart. These words remind us that each of us are leaders, no matter our role, and that when we bring purpose and heart to our work, we create the kind of schools where children can thrive. Last year, we worked together to make tremendous progress, strengthening our grading and assessment framework, expanding access to rigorous coursework, and deepening our support for students through equity, SEL, and intervention initiatives. These accomplishments reflect not just programs on paper, but the daily commitment of teachers, leaders, and staff who kept our students at the center. So as you mentioned, we will be looking and having a conversation in old business under the district goals, but I just want to give a look ahead. This year's district and board goals built directly on the momentum and are designed to further elevate the student experience in the Millburn Township Public Schools. Our goals, firstly, the strategic plan. By engaging our community to develop a strategic plan, we are ensuring that students' needs and their aspirations guide our vision. This means that future programs, courses, and supports will be shaped not only by our educators, but also by the voices of families and students themselves. Under the goal of operational culture and leadership, the new Leadership Academy, as you saw, along with all of our school leaders, will come together and continue throughout the year to review student programming and processes, ensuring more efficient and effective educational practices by providing clear operating procedures, which will then in turn create more consistent and effective approaches across all of our schools. For students, this translates into smoother daily operations, fewer disruptions, and leaders equipped to support teaching and learning through consistent programming. In academic culture and climate, we are going to continue evaluating the alignment between middle school and high school courses, ensuring that students move through a seamless progression of learning with equitable access to advanced opportunities. We're going to continue to expand AP electives, which means that more students will have the chance to challenge themselves early in their journey in school. Implementing the WIN period, as Mr. Connolly mentioned, in the elementary schools will ensure that every student receives personalized academic or enrichment support, building a stronger foundation for student success. And finally, under this area, expanding our counseling and our SEL programming, as Ms. Catherine Alvarez so eloquently described as just the beginning, ensures that students have consistent emotional and social supports, which directly affect their confidence, their resilience, and their readiness to learn. And the board goals are very important as well, as they impact our students and staff. So under educational reporting, we talk about a clear educational reporting calendar, which means that students will benefit from the decisions informed by timely, transparent data on academic growth, programs, and supports. It also ensures that our community and staff can see how these initiatives directly connect to student outcomes. Strengthening the communications, as you've already seen here tonight, our goal is to benefit and to build a stronger family-school partnership. By expanding this communication through website updates, continuation of our staff liaison meetings, and a communication audit, families can become more informed and engaged. And as we know, when families are more informed and engaged, students feel more supported in their academic journey. And finally, policy. The full policy audit and website update will guarantee that student protection and their supports are clear, accessible, and consistently applied across all schools. This strengthens that equity that ensures every child is learning in a safe, fair, and supportive environment. So each of these goals, district and board alike, come back to one central truth. Everything we do must positively impact students, whether it is increasing access to rigorous coursework, strengthening those SEL supports, or ensuring families are engaged partners. Our work this year is about creating schools where students feel both challenged and cared for. Together, by rising with purpose and leading with heart, we will continue to build on our successes and make this year another remarkable one for our students and each other. So it is with great gratitude and excitement that I welcome you to the 25-26 school year. And following on the agenda tonight, in addition to the approval of our district and board goals, we'll also have a revision to our cell phone and sunscreen policies. The sunscreen policy is a mandated policy, and it just simply allows for students to bring certain sunscreens to school. And as regard to the cell phone policy 5516, or what's called use of electronic communication devices, and the corresponding regulation have been revised to provide community and consistency across grade level bands. One of the things I want to say is that we did put out a survey. We had 1,100 responses, and this included students 6 through 12, staff. We had 86.4% parents that participated in the survey, 9% staff, and a very small percentage of students. It was noted that 62.3% of the community and the parents agree that cell phones do interfere with learning. And then 85.4% agreed that supporting stricter guidelines would be helpful. So on the agenda tonight, the summary includes, we understand that we do not want to take away cell phones necessarily, but we do want to turn them off and put them away. So this policy, as we are going to call this off and away, offers guidelines for the use of those electronic devices in schools, such as cell phones and smartwatches. I will also note that there was a 70% concern from parents and community members that cell phones was an issue in school, and 95.7 or 96% asked for a stronger stance. So with that, students in grades K through 8 will keep electronic communication devices off and away during the school day, which is not necessarily a change. This includes before and after school programs or during any co-curricular activity or on a school bus. Students in grade 9 through 12 must keep electronic communication devices off and away during instructional times, not a change. The electronic communication devices will be permitted in the 9 through 12 at lunchtime, at times approved by a teacher for instructional purposes, or during passing time in between classes. So what will students expect? Students will expect that the teacher will come in high school and say, you need to put your phones off and away, and there are pouches going to be available in each of the classrooms for the students to put theirs. Should the teacher desire to have students take out their cell phones to do any of the Quizlets or any of that, that is certainly in the realm of a teacher's prerogative. So tonight, those are on the agenda. All right, now we go for the fun stuff. Rocktoberfest. Rocktoberfest is a music festival fundraiser featuring music, live food and drinks, shopping, and activities for the whole family. The event showcases over 30 music bands, solo artists, and playing on multiple stages. There will also be a kids zone, inclusivity zone, and food and shopping vendors. So we look forward to having you join us in Rocktoberfest. And the dates again are September 13th. Oh, September 13th. Okay, so it's really not October, it's the Rocktober of September. We've been working closely with the registrar and data manager to ensure that enrollment process is as efficient and up to date as possible. At this time, we can report that our current enrollment stands at 4,540 students. At Deerfield, we have 17 sections of K through 4th grade. Glenwood is 15. Hartshorn is at 18, South Mountain is at 12, and Wyoming is at 17, with Washington at their standard 16. And that includes my report, except for I do want to mention that on the board agenda tonight is also for the strategic planning. There is a resolution on there. As you know, one of our plans this year is to complete a strategic plan for our district. There is a framework and we have met with the board and discussed the fact that hiring a company to help facilitate will allow for everyone to be involved in the process. So we are on the board agenda tonight is the approval or request for approving TMI for strategic planning. We will have a committee, we will have stakeholder feedback, we will have multiple sessions. And so after the approval tonight, we will send out sort of a schedule of what that might look like for the community, for the students, for the staff, and for each other. And that concludes my report.
Fantastic, thank you. On to the board committee reports. Finance is up first. Mr. Lawrence?
Thank you. So we met on Wednesday, August 13th at 7 p.m. Board members present, myself, Ms. Bathina, and Mr. Bigman. Staff present, Mr. Storrs, Don Knight, and Dr. Diskin. We discussed, we had a facilities review and reviewed proposed CWA agreement. Received update on potential collaboration with the Township regarding high school backfields. South Mountain School sewer line work is in progress. Summer projects update, and there was a lot of them. The Millburn High School auditorium work and the roofing is in progress. Science lab flooring and lighting is completed. 5 HVAC rooftop units replaced. HVAC air handler is in progress. From the ROD grant, new boilers are in progress, and Nigel Field turf replacement was completed, as our president indicated. Millburn Middle School HVAC work is in progress. Vocal room flooring completed. Washington School air handler is installed and nearing completion. Wyman School cafeteria and basement classroom HVAC in progress. From the ROD grant, new boilers installation in progress. South Mountain School gym HVAC upgrade in progress. And Hartshorn School playground being replaced thanks to the PTO donation is completed. And media center glass wall scheduled for completion end of August. Finance review, discuss district transfers, and discuss preliminary budget calendar approach for 2026-27 school year. Resolutions committee reviewed and recommends the following items for approval by the full board at today's meeting. June and July transfer report, bill list dated July 31st and August 18th. Recommend disposal of the middle school instruments. Recommend approval of the following use of contract allowances. AMCO HVAC upgrades, $9,644.72. AMCO HVAC upgrades, $2,117.86. MM construction, 2 amounts for the science lab, one $37,917, another one $7,180. 3 AMCOR payments for boiler replacements, $16,895, $9,450.73, and $34,124.43. Also recommend the following payment applications. AMCOR boiler replacements, HVAC upgrades, $356,105.81, and the AMCOR HVAC upgrades, $214,840.86. Grove Contracting High School Auditorium, $419,645. M&M Construction Science Lab, $363 and $297. EACM Washington HVAC, $135,755.60. Marshall High School Roof, $564,942.06. And we recommend the following purchases. Apple Striping of New Jersey, stripe parking lots, $25,955. Garden State Landscape and Maintenance, $19,375. DNL Paving, Basin and Pad Repair, $19,000. HUDL Athletic Subscription, $571,741.80. TMI Education, $29,250. Keystone Sports Education Turf Maintenance, $36,432.75. AccuScan Record Storage, $22,260. And Uline Cafe and Folding Tables, $22,192.21. Then meeting ended at 7:51. Thank you.
We have a typo in there again. The huddle striping is only $17,500. So it's not $500,000. Sorry.
Okay. Any questions for finance or facilities? One thing that I'd like to note that it's not tangential to this area, we continue to work with the town on talking about developing fields behind the high school. I bring it up because several of my fellow board members have forwarded articles of other towns around us approving field projects. So it feels like we're behind in the number of fields we have, and other towns are getting even more ahead. So that's certainly an important issue. I just wanted to let you know we're still working on it as best we can. All right, moving on. Program, Mr. Finkelstein.
Yeah, thank you. We had 2 meetings since our last to update. The first was Thursday, July 31st at 2 p.m. Board members present were myself, Ms. Lonely Richards, and Ms. Shivani. Staff present were Dr. Diskin, Mr. Connolly, Ms. Young, Ms. Martin, and Ms. Graff. Dr. Diskin and Mr. Connolly updated the committee on the hiring process for the high school principal. We discussed Board of Ed participation at later stages of the process as observers only. Mr. Connolly then discussed working with the Director of Guidance to put together a new guidance report for high school college admissions. Then the CNI directors presented a draft of the WIDA results presentation shown tonight. The CNI directors also presented a curriculum that was up for review. Most of the new curriculum was to maintain alignment with state standards, AP standards, and some of the new school initiatives, again, some of which was discussed in presentations tonight. Mr. Connolly also presented some of the AP test results from the past school year. The committee asked to see the updated report that included class grades. The committee and administration agreed to restart the AP access discussions this fall for potential further openings in 26 and 27 school year. The next meeting was Thursday, August 7th at 2 p.m. Board members present were myself, Ms. Longley Richards, and Ms. Shivani. Staff present were Dr. Diskin, Mr. Connolly, Ms. Young, Ms. Martin, and Ms. Graff. The committee and the administration had a conversation about high school midterms and finals. Mr. Lochran, the interim high school principal, presented feedback from teachers and included some of his own ideas to think about and other proposals to consider. The committee, administrators, and CNI team all contributed to the conversation and added many interesting ideas and different points of view. The committee pushed the team to think about the goals and underlying thesis for the exams as we look to come up with the best program going forward. There'll be more conversations and the issue will be revisited. Ms. Graff then also reviewed other curriculum updates for the new school year in the humanities. And that concludes my minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Finkelstein. Any questions for program? Great. Moving on. Governance, Ms. Shivani.
The Governance Committee met on August 11 at 6 p.m. Board members present were Jennifer Patina, myself, Mr. Brian Lawrence. Staff present were Ms. Terry Heck, Mr. Kyle Arlington, and Dr. Kate Diskin. The committee reviewed the following policies that are being presented. Policy 1115, Concepts and Roles in Administration, Goals and Objections, being presented for second reading and approval. Language was added to make this policy to include performance metrics to help guide decision making, identify areas for improvement. Policy 0164.2, Standing Rules of the Board of Education. This is a current policy. This was reviewed to update the meeting start time, the Board of Ed meeting start time to 7 p.m. from 7:45 p.m. I guess this was a very delayed update to the meeting. 7:45. Okay, whatever. It's updated to reflect 7 p.m. is being presented for first reading. Policy 0143, Board Member Election and Appointment. The bylaw guide 0143 provides updated guidance and addresses the legal requirements for election and appointment of board members to a Board of Education to fill a vacancy. Policy 1648.15, Record Keeping for Healthcare Settings and School Buildings, COVID-19. This policy is being abolished. The state of New Jersey will no longer be enforcing record keeping and reporting requirements for COVID-19. As such, this policy is on agenda for being abolished tonight. The fun one, Policy 5516, Use of Electronic Communication and Recording Devices. This policy combines recording prohibitions with new provisions to limit or prohibit student use of electronic communication devices, including cell phones, smartwatches, and earbuds during the school day. The next two policies and regulations are new and mandatory for adoption before the school year starts. As such, they are being presented for first reading and approval today. Regulation 5516, Use of Electronic Communication Devices. I'm going to repeat what Dr. Diskin said. This new regulation offers guidelines for the use of electronic communication devices in schools, including permitted times, progressive discipline, and grade level variations. As Dr. Diskin mentioned, the main changes to this school regulation are around cell phone use in the high schoolers. Students in grades 9 to 12 must keep the phones away and are permitted to use an electronic device. They have to keep the devices off and away during instructional times during the school day. Electronic devices are permitted at lunchtime, at recess, at times approved by the teacher for instructional purposes, on a school bus, and times designated by the principal or designee, and during passing time between classes. And please, you can read up the policy in more detail, but that's the main change for students of grade 9 to 12. Policy 5539.01, Student Sun Protection. Again, this is a mandatory policy. Student Sun Protection policy was adopted requiring school districts to develop and adopt a policy concerning students' use of sunscreen and sun protective clothing while outdoors at school and school-sponsored events. This policy is mandated by the state and requires the board to adopt a policy addressing the requirements in the new law. So those were the policies. Additionally, Ms. Terry Heck provided an overview of the school website updates that are in progress that we just saw. We encourage everyone to take a look at the news district website. You will find some useful information, especially related to back to school. The committee also reviewed implementation of the Strauss-Esme District online portal, which we also saw a snapshot of that. We're very excited to roll out these changes in time for the school start. These new changes allow you to search policies based on keywords. It's a really user-friendly portal. So please take a look at that. Mr. Kyle Arlington reviewed the personnel report, which is being presented for a vote tonight. The meeting concluded at 7 p.m. Respectfully submitted, Priya Shivani.
Thank you, Ms. Shivani. Any questions for governance? Mr. Finkelstein.
I didn't have a question for governance, sorry, just one amendment to my minutes. I neglected that Ms. Bethena was also part of the August 7th meeting. Just wanted to correct that for the record.
Fantastic. And on that point, I'd just like to thank the board members, the administrators for the dedication and being flexible. It's hard to find committee times that work with everybody's vacations and schedules over the summer. So it is a sacrifice to continue to put forth this effort, and we did get a lot of work done over the summer. So thank you, Ms. Bethena, for being at that governance meeting, or I'm sorry, that program meeting. Any questions for governance? All right. Very good. I think that's all the board committee reports, although I do miss Mr. Glatt. Elections are in September and the new ones are seated like the first meeting of October. Is that the time schedule? Second meeting in September? Oh, fantastic. So we look forward to our new student representatives coming in a month or so. All right, administrator reports. Mr. Conlon, do you have something for this evening?
Just a very short report. On Wednesday, August 13th, 18 rising juniors from Millburn High School concluded their 6-week summer internships at the Millburn Short Hills Historical Society by presenting a series of captivating projects that transported visitors through Millburn's rich history. Centered around this year's theme, Millburn and America's 250th, the students also contributed to the development of exhibitions and educational programs in anticipation of the Township of Millburn's upcoming celebration of 250 years of America's independence. And then just to follow up on tonight's presentation, as you heard earlier this evening, it has been a very busy summer. I want to take a moment to sincerely thank our C&I staff and all those that contributed to the projects that took place this summer, not only in curriculum instruction, but around the district. We could not have done it without everybody, rowing in the same direction.
Thank you, Mr. Connolly. Mr. Stars.
Just a quick note that the financial audit has started. The auditors came out today, and they'll be here for 3 days this week, and then in September, they'll be here for 2 weeks.
Very important. Thank you for getting that underway. I probably forgot something in my president's report, but it relates to you, so I'll stick it here. We do have an opening on the board. There's an application. It's due September 4th. It's a fairly easy application. I think you also submit a resume. I think we've set the September 8th board meeting for you to come and present a 2 to 3 minute speech. The board members then go back into executive session, have a discussion about the people who present. We come back in public session and comment and vote in public. So just to clarify that process a little bit, we'll be very clear on the procedures right before the September 8th meeting when we conduct this vote. But I certainly want to encourage people out there to apply for this open board seat. It'll be seated, I think we swear it in right at that September 8th meeting, and it goes through the January meeting.
They would need to get fingerprinted, so that might be delayed, so.
Oh, okay, yeah, they won't be seated until the background check clears.
Yes.
Good point, thank you. Okay, moving on, public comments. Please state your name and address for the record. Public comments will be limited to 3 minutes. We usually have a timer. If you hear the timer, just finish your sentence. You can come back after everyone else has had a chance to go the first time. Responses to questions and comments will be posted to the district website before the next board meeting or within 10 school days. Any comments this evening? All right, Mr. Feld.
Check, check.
Jeffrey Feld. I live in the poet section. I'm very happy about the long presentation, what happened, and I thank all the administrators that did it. It's very important. We talked about communications. We're going to have a new technology problem about cell phones. How are you going to roll it out in the next 3 weeks that people know about it before the first day of school? I think whether you go to TAP, just get it out there, the mission. There's a subtle difference on your agenda. Every time you approve bill lists and transfers, under the prior BA, there was always a certification that this BA certified that everything was kosher. What the difference is now is the superintendent is certifying. Again, I don't know if that's just because we're in a transition, we're going forward in September, whether the BA or interim BA will be making that certification. The reason I mention it is keep an eye on what happened is going on in Montclair. About a $1.11 million shortfall that no one picked up. We had to be there. Also, based on the Star Ledger articles yesterday, that there's going to be a change in testing come the spring. I think that you might need, again, communications, rolling up to parents who do read the Star Ledger about the new program that's coming in and how it'll change. Also, they're talking about change in healthcare premiums come January 1st. I mean, I'm always been talking ever since I became here is about funding. Look at your funding, because also there's transfers. And I really don't know the understanding about this. You have one at the end of last year for about $11 million today. I don't know if that's a cumulative number or if that represents what you did at the end of June. And then you have one for July that's about $7 million. Again, it's communication and transparency. And again, I thank you all for your public service. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Feld. Any other comments? If not, we can move on. All right, no discussion items tonight. Board action items. May I have a motion and a second to approve instructional items 1A through I? Mr. Farashudin, Mr. Finkelstein can second. Just a note, we're not reading through all these again since they're printed here. Roll call, please.
Ms. Pathini?
Yes.
Mr. Bigman?
Yes to all, abstain on C, E, and F.
Mr. Farashudin?
Yes.
Mr. Finkelstein?
Yes.
Mr. Lawrence?
Yes.
Ms. Shivani?
Yes.
Mr. Heinrich?
Yes.
Motion passed.
Thank you. Before we vote on the personnel action items listed on the agenda, we met in closed session earlier to discuss the following additional items. At this time, we would like to add the following 3 resolutions. Let me read these into the record so that they be included in the motion and vote. Item C, be it resolved that the Millburn Board of Education hereby approves the payment of $8,434.67, representing the salary differential owed to Dr. Diskin covering the period of July 1, 2024 through November 1, 2024 for the time she served as Assistant Superintendent while also serving as Acting Superintendent, as approved by the Executive County Superintendent for Essex County. Payment to be made through the board standard payroll system. Be it further resolved that the board acknowledges that Dr. Diskin is tenured in the position of Assistant Superintendent effective as of July 1, 2024. Item D, be it resolved that the Millburn Board of Education hereby ratifies and approves the Collective Negotiations Agreement, CNA, between the board and the Communication Workers of America, representing non-professional employees for the period July 1, 2024 through June 30, 2028, according to the terms of the CNA in the form and term consistent with the attachment hereto, and authorize the board president and board secretary to take all actions necessary to effectuate this resolution. We should have the MAA, right, too?
Yeah, that should be on the back of your...
Thank you, sir. E, be it resolved that the Millburn Board of Education hereby ratifies and approves the collective negotiation agreement, CNA, between the board and the Millburn Administrators Association, MAA, representing certified supervisors and administrators for the period July 1, 2024 through June 30, 2028, according to the terms of the CNA and the form and terms consistent with the attachment hereto, and authorizes the board president and board secretary to take all necessary actions to effectuate this resolution. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Nobody moved or seconded. Yeah, that.
Oh, sorry. I thought we did that already. May I have a motion to approve these three hand-carried resolution? I always do this side. Mr. Lawrence, Mr. Finkelstein can second. Now we're on to the roll call. Thank you for keeping me straight.
Ms. Bethina,
Yes.
Mr. Bigman,
Yes.
Mr. Farashudin,
Yes.
Mr. Finkelstein,
Yes.
Mr. Lawrence,
Yes.
Ms. Shivani,
Yes.
Mr. Heinrichs.
Yes.
Motion's passed.
All right, moving on to personal agenda items. May I have a motion and a second to approve business, personnel agenda items 2A and B. Ms. Bethina, Mr. Farashudin can second. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Ms. Bethina,
Yes.
Mr. Bigman,
Yes.
Mr. Farashudin.
Yes.
Mr. Finkelstein.
Yes.
Mr. Lawrence.
Yes.
Ms. Shivani,
Yes.
Mr. Heinrichs.
Yes.
Motion passed.
Thank you. Moving on to business agenda items. May I have a motion and second to approve business agenda items 3A through 3G? Mr. Bigman? Ms. Shivani can second. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Ms. Bethina,
Yes.
Mr. Bigman,
Yes.
Mr. Farashudin,
Yes.
Mr. Finkelstein,
Yes.
Mr. Lawrence,
Yes.
Ms. Shivani,
Yes.
Mr. Heinrichs.
Yes.
Motion passed.
Moving on to policy agenda items. May I have a motion and a second to approve the following policies? Please note 3 policies regulations are to be expedited, so they are in place for the start of school. Mr. Farashudin, second. Oh, Ms. Shivani, thank you. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Ms. Bethini,
Yes.
Mr. Bigman,
Yes.
Mr. Farashudin,
Yes.
Mr. Finkelstein,
Yes.
Mr. Lawrence,
Yes.
Ms. Shivani,
Yes.
Mr. Heinrichs.
Yes.
Motion passed.
Thank you. Moving on to old business. Resolve to approve the district board, okay, we want to approve board goals. Is this an official motion, Mr. Stars?
I believe so, yes.
Yes. Okay. Want to make sure. Can I have a motion and a second to approve the district and board goals for the school year 2025-2026? Mr. Lawrence? Mr. Farashudin? Can second? Any discussion? Roll call, please. Oh, no? Sure. All right. Roll call, please. Mr. Finkelstein.
Yeah, I think there were actually some people from the community that were here when we had our drafting session at our outing. And I think most board members thought we had a really robust conversation around making these deliverable and specific. I know the language maybe gets a little flowery here, but I think if hopefully the community reads them, they'll see that there are specific deliverables, attached to attached to each one that are, generally pretty specific, and kind of can get to those goals. And I'm sure they can email, any of us or Dr. Diskin, with further questions along those lines. So I know I just had heard that a couple times.
Yeah, so if you would like, I do have a slide that's going to be posted on our website, but if you want me to just go over that, because the goals are now SMART goals, they are measurable, they have achievable goals, they have a deadline and those kinds of things. And then as I described to you all in governance and as well as facilities and finance, we have created a template for us to communicate how that's going, and that we will continue to have updates throughout the year on how each of the goals are progressing. So if you want me to go over them, I'm happy to, but if not, if we're done with, they'll be posted to the website so people can see the timelines and all of that.
I don't think there's any need for that now. And the one other point I'd make, to the extent anyone's listening or paying attention, is the first one is the strategic plan, because there was some like, how do we have goals without a strategic plan? Well, this is the effort to actually get the strategic plan, and so this board has, I think, smartly hired a firm that specializes in helping districts facilitate these, because we can't be our own judge and jury here. No one. So we need, it's viewed as the more proper way to get outside consultants to sort of help you create those goals. And as Dr. Diskin mentioned earlier, when she read through them, that there's community feedback and teacher and all the different stakeholders and constituencies in the district get to provide feedback. So we will have a strategic plan process that kicks off, I think it's this year, and then there will be a robust strategic plan that future goals will then come out of. But obviously we needed to do goals this year in the meantime while we wait for that strategic plan, but that is in the works, and should be very robust and provide us with a long-term framework, I think, to go forward.
Ms. Shivani?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of also feel like some of these, we got glimpses into some of these goals in the presentations today. So for example, the evaluating alignment between middle, elementary, and high schools from a counseling and placement perspective. We saw that in Ms. Alvarez's presentation. Same for the counseling framework and the leadership academy. So, I mean, I think as we start going through more of these, we'll see some of these goals, operating procedures being peeled back, and maybe that'll be better. Yeah.
Great comments, thank you. Ms. Bethina?
Might be worth also highlighting that policy 1115, it kind of ties in with board goal number 1. So just for folks to read at their leisure.
So just to say, moving forward, once these goals are approved, I will put in parentheses anything that's on the agenda that relates to any of the goals, whether it's a district goal or a board goal, so that you can all see the great work that you're doing to achieve these goals.
Back to the motion on the table to approve the district goals. Roll call, please.
Ms. Bethina?
Yes.
Mr. Bigman?
Yes.
Mr. Farashudin?
Yes.
Mr. Finkelstein?
Yes.
Mr. Lawrence?
Yes.
Ms. Shivani?
Yes.
Mr. Heinrichs?
Yes.
Motion passed.
Thank you. Moving on to new business. Is there any board member who would like to introduce any new business? Very good. Second round of public comments. Same rules as the first. Any takers? Mr. Scarra? All right. Any final board member comments? Mr. Farashudin?
Yes, I want to make a final plug for the Rocktoberfest. As our Dr. Diskin mentioned, it's September 13th. The rain date is September 20th. There is still plenty of time for everyone to get involved to support the Rocktoberfest, which is a major fundraiser for the Millburn Education Foundation, which benefits all of our schools. Please consider supporting and becoming a sponsor, and please attend. Thank you.
All right, we have another executive session this evening to discuss personnel matters. May I have a motion and a second to approve the following resolution at this time? Mr. Farashudin, Ms. Shivani, all in favor? All right, we are in exec. For the public, I think when we come out of executive, there'll be no action taken. We'll just come back in here and adjourn. So do not feel the need to stick around, although you are welcome to. Thank you. We're in exec. We can stay here. We can take 5 while they keep our